The growing complexity of technology-enabled selling systems, amplified by business model transformation to the cloud and changing customer buying behavior, has changed the basis for generating revenue growth. 6 mega trends have changed the formula for growing revenues over the past several decades so much they have rendered traditional structures for managing the people, processes, and technologies that support revenue growth obsolete. Businesses that continue to use outdated functional approaches for managing sales, marketing, and customer success teams and resources, and the enterprise customer journey are struggling to become more digital, data-driven, and dynamic. The failure to align commercial teams, operations, processes, and systems around the customer in the face of this new market reality has significant financial consequences. Specifically, the fragmented management of revenue-generating commercial assets. These include customer data, digital technology, digital channel infrastructure, and customer relationship equity has resulted in lower than acceptable returns on the technology, data, and digital selling infrastructure assets that underpin firm value and future revenue streams. The fractured management of the enterprise commercial process causes revenue and margin to leak through air gaps and handoffs in the cross-functional customer journey. And the uncoordinated leadership of customer-facing revenue teams leads to coverage gaps, suboptimal sales resource allocation, higher selling costs, customer churn, and missed market opportunity. Revenue operations has emerged as a board-level issue for the simple reason that it directly impacts their primary fiduciary responsibility to protect and grow firm value. This is because organic growth and the commercial assets that create it have become essential to value creation in every business, whether you're running a hyper-growth SaaS business, a Fortune 1000 enterprise, or are attempting business transformation to a cloud-based recurring revenue model. Revenue operations research shows that senior growth leaders are making significant changes in their commercial leadership, operations, and architectures to unlock more growth from their existing commercial teams, systems, and operations. Over 90% of the growth leaders, or CXOs, that we interviewed are refining their commercial architecture, consolidating the operations that support salespeople, and reconfiguring the roles of their revenue teams to accelerate organic growth as a top priority. 85% of CXOs are actively adding development reps, SDRs, BDRs, market development reps, account developer reps, to manage engagement at scale at the front of the funnel. They're also adding specialists that add value in the middle and customer success managers at the end of the funnel to improve retention, usage, and upsell. To lead revenue operations, over 9,000 organizations, both large and small, have introduced expanded CXO roles with titles like Chief Growth Officer, Chief Commercial Officer, Chief Customer Officer, and Chief Revenue Officer. These CXOs have a broader scope and remit to better manage commercial assets, the operations that enable infrastructure across the company, and the cross-functional customer journey. More than 90% of CXOs believe that commercial transformation requires leadership from the board and the CEO to succeed. Organizations that move to a revenue operations management model, one that better aligns revenue teams, operations, and processes around the customer, as well as optimizing the commercial architecture to reflect the new economics of selling, can add 5 to 10 points of savings in terms of bottom line profit in the short term. Or, if reinvested, this can improve long-term growth prospects by 50%. To help boards, CEOs, and CXOs evolve their commercial models and accelerate revenue, profit, and value growth, the faculty of the Revenue Enablement Institute has developed a comprehensive revenue operations blueprint to help organizations large and small to evolve to a 21st century commercial model and accelerate their revenues, profits, and value growth. The Revenue Operations Blueprint rigorously defines and breaks down revenue operations into 6 specific operational components that span the people, process, and technology management of revenue growth in the 21st century. These 6 core elements of the revenue operations model provide growth leaders a roadmap for aligning their revenue teams, commercial operations, systems, and processes to accelerate their revenue growth and expand customer lifetime value. The business practices underlying these 6 elements of the revenue operations model are detailed in greater depth in a 72-point revenue operations model. Business leaders can learn more about this model in our Revenue Operations in a 21st Century report. It's an exhaustive 115-page analysis designed to help business owners, CEOs, and growth leaders align their sales, marketing, and customer success teams and lay out concrete steps to optimize the performance of their commercial operations, processes, and assets. For executives who want to learn faster, our faculty has incorporated the business practices underlying these 6 elements of the revenue operations model into a detailed but intuitive 72-point revenue operations benchmark assessment tool. This easy-to-use assessment tool is designed to help business owners, CEOs, growth leaders identify the big gaps in their commercial approaches and stair-step their way towards operational alignment and commercial excellence by identifying the big gaps and weaknesses in their commercial models, agreeing upon the most impactful ways to better align their sales, marketing, and customer success teams, and laying out concrete steps to optimize the performance of their commercial operations, processes, and assets. The assessment tool is valuable, useful, and relevant to every business. Whether you are a complex, large enterprise struggling with functional silos and the fragmented management of the customer journey, your customer data, and commercial operations, or an organization that seeks to optimize limited resources to manage profit growth in a mature market, an agile enterprise that seeks to pivot to capitalize on new market opportunities, product innovations, and penetrate their installed base of customers. 2, businesses that are migrating to a cloud business model and need to accelerate recurring revenue growth while managing cash flow and resources carefully. Our faculty can help make revenue operations a reality in your organization by stair-stepping your leadership and operations teams on the path to commercial transformation. Let us show you how to assess your commercial operations and stair-step your way to more scalable, profitable, and sustainable growth. To learn more and see our revenue operations model in action, go to www.revenueenablement.com.